Alright, let's get fierce today. I want to show you guys a hilarious example of a Trump supporter challenging me on immigration only to run away by the end of the conversation when he realized that he had no ground to stand on and he had no clue what he was talking about. See, Trump has made immigration a central aspect of all of his campaigns, but especially the 2024 campaign where he has made an extra effort to inject fear into millions of Americans about immigrants committing crimes, immigrants bringing gangs over here, and I guess this guy that I debated fell for it. See, both sides can agree that there are problems at the border that need to be smoothed out. There have been for decades. The process is an absolute mess, but Trump has blown it up into a totally different problem. He makes up lies, he makes up fake stories, and tries to say that immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country. That is not the type of rhetoric that a former president should use, and while, yes, the border could be smoothed out, we could have done it with Langford's bill. We talk about all of this, so just sit back, relax, and with 36 days to go until the election, let's break down this debate I had. Now, for some context, this dude has emailed me a few times in the past. My email is on screen now if you ever want to chat about something. This is my only email, and I responded. I bite sometimes because I honestly love to debate. Deep down, I love challenging people, debating people. I should be doing more of it heading into the election, and he emailed me something with no subject line and said, "Your whole channel is about Trump and how bad he is, but you don't mention anything about all the gangs killing American citizens, or the gangs in your own city that have set up to fight the Venezuelan gangs. Why can't you put a story out on that? Is it because your owners won't let you? You could try to be honest for once, especially if you value capitalism like you say you do." That's based off a past conversation where he thought I was a socialist or something. No, I'm firmly a capitalist who wants social safety nets, but there is a lot to break down here. I ask him in response, I talk about immigration in practically every video, which I do. If you watch my videos, I'm always responding to Trump's lies about immigration. I say, can you send me a source that says immigrants, specifically illegal immigrants, commit crimes at higher rates than native-born citizens? You've been tricked with all of these local stories and fear-mongering videos into thinking that all of Chicago is in the middle of a gang fight when that's not the reality. Again, I'm not asking for single anecdotal stories. I'm looking for a study that shows that immigrants are more dangerous, as Trump says. I can link you 50 studies that prove the opposite. Here's a recent one, and the study says that immigrants that move here commit crimes at lower rates than American citizens. And then I say, just think about it for a second. If a town is made up of 10% immigrants, then naturally 10% of the crimes committed in that town will be committed by immigrants. What MAGA does is blow up those 10% of crimes into a national story. We can talk about Langford's bill. If you want to go into detail, I'm sure you've read all of it. Now, his original message is very clearly coming off of the back of Trump's rhetoric. Trump says that immigrants are bringing over crime, bringing over massive amounts of crime, and I can guarantee this dude has seen some videos on his Twitter feed, so he's very clearly implying in this first message that immigrants are bringing over a unique amount of crime. So my rebuttal was, can you prove that in any way? And he just doesn't understand. Trump supporters don't understand. It goes over his head. He says, how can you prove that when law enforcement has been told to not report the crime? I never said Chicago was in the middle of a gang fight with Venezuelans, but they are preparing for it. There was also over 100 shot on July 4th, and you know that anyway, but you also know that Chicago has had a huge gang presence. It has for many, many years, going back before the Obama administration. Also, you can clump MAGA all into one group. There are regular citizens that have been affected by immigration, but it's clear your bosses tell you not to report anything on Donald Trump. It's not helping, and you're probably smart enough to know that, but that's your job. You can't twist and turn the minds of people who have been affected by migrant crime, and you can't twist and turn the numbers that were just released by the director of ICE. And my next reply is very funny, but everything he's saying in this is totally false. His first line is, how can you prove that when law enforcement has not been told to report the crime? That raises the question, how does he know that they commit a unique amount of crime if law enforcement isn't reporting on it? Is it his gut? Is it his instinct telling him? It is a conspiracy theory that law enforcement has a top-down order from the Biden administration or from whoever not to report crime. He made that up. I looked it up. There are no reports saying that. So I replied, that's a lot of words to say, quote, I can't provide a single source on those statistics. Can you provide me a credible source saying that law enforcement has been directed not to report gang crime from immigrants? If you send me another long message with no links from a credible source, I'm not responding. And of course, I still responded because I can't stop myself from debating sometimes. But I very clearly asked in this first message, please reply with a source, not an anecdotal message. Here's even a source that I replied. He can't do it. And he said, I don't need statistics when it's all over the news in multiple cities, multiple YouTube channels, etc. The police are being told to leave them alone because the people sponsor these illegal aliens are making money. That's the problem with you. You choose to ignore reality when those Venezuelan gangs are in your city. I'm sorry, but I go to school in Chicago. I live in Chicago for most of the year. I haven't seen any gangs coming up on me. I mean, really, Adam, are you prepared to defend yourself from one of those guys? My guess is you really aren't. So he's calling me weak right there, saying I'm not prepared to defend myself if someone comes and steals my cat or steals my dog or whatever. Again, he didn't provide a single source or a single study, no links at all, other than saying it's all over the news and it's on multiple YouTube channels. And listen, I think YouTube is a very valuable source of information. Of course, I make videos every day, but you have to know how to filter out your YouTube channels and the information that you're getting, because we spend hours fact-checking, providing statistics, making sure that other organizations like the Associated Press or BBC are reporting on the same thing. I'm definitely assuming this dude just watches Charlie Kirk or something. I said, wait a minute, so your argument is that immigrants are inherently more violent and are committing crimes at higher rates than American citizens, but you have zero studies, zero links, and you claim that cops are, quote, covering it up, but you somehow have the real information. This is sad, man. How about you hop on my live stream and we debate this week? I think that is a fair offer. If he's going to be emailing me relentlessly, then he should be able to hop on and talk to me about it. And this is where he starts to get a little bit more aggressive. Let's go over to slide 2. He said, I never said that. You can read through the emails and see that I never said that. So what's your point? So let's go back and see if he was talking about migrant crime or implying that immigrants commit crimes at a higher rate. I mean, right here in his second message that I have his name blurred out, and he says, in the last paragraph, you can't twist and turn the minds of people that have been affected by migrant crime, and you can't twist and turn the numbers that were just released by the director of ICE. So he's citing those numbers that were actually from over a decade, including under the Trump administration, but his messages are very clearly implying that immigrants are committing crimes, that immigrants are coming over here and killing American citizens en masse. Let me know in the comment section. That's what he's implying there, right? He is implying the exact same thing that Trump says explicitly. So he said, I'd be happy to do that regarding the debate, but last time I challenged you, you backed out on it. I said, I never backed out. I'm incredibly busy, which is true. I said, the crime rate is down all across America. Every statistic supports that. Your contention seems to be similar to Trump's in that you think immigrants are bringing over a unique amount of crime and gang violence. I challenge you to provide me a single source that immigrants commit crimes at higher rates than native-born citizens. You couldn't even link me one because you're full of BS. Your source was, trust me, bro, cops are hiding it, but I know the secret. And he said, that's because I never said that. They are bringing problems over here, but you're putting words in my mouth. If you continue to do that, we will have a big problem. No shot. He's threatening me over an email chain. What kind of problem is he going to give me over an email chain? I said, so scary. So let's clarify then. I'm asking him a simple question. Do you think that immigrants commit crimes, A, at higher rates than U.S. citizens, B, equivalent, or C, lower rates? It's very simple, and this demonstrates the entire argument. We'll get there. We'll bring it home at the end. I said, imagine talking tough over email after obsessively emailing me for 3 months straight. He did do that. He said, Adam, go back to my first email. You brought the conversation to this point because you have no ground to stand on. You kind of spun it and started going down this road of something I wasn't even talking about, and then called me a beta male, which I did up here. I said total beta male because he is. He is falling for fear-mongering tactics from Donald Trump. But again, if we go back to this first email, is he not very clearly talking about immigrants bringing over a unique amount of crime? These people don't know what they're talking about at all. Now there's one more page. He says, the reality is you're trying to control the conversation. He said, you do it to a lot of people that aren't as smart as you, but believe me, you're not that smart. And I said, the question I'm asking is a direct rebuttal to your email. You emailed me about immigrant gangs committing crimes. I'm asking you a question that logically follows. Do you think immigrants are committing a unique amount of crime, more so than native-born citizens? He said, your question has nothing to do with my argument, and here's why. I never said that illegal crimes are committing crime. Okay, so he's saying it right here. I said, that's why I'm asking. He said, Adam, my position has nothing to do with crime rates, dude. My position is this. Most of your videos are attacking Donald Trump, but you don't ever talk about the people getting killed by migrants, and you don't ever talk about what Kamala Harris has said about the border. So I provided him 3 different sources, and he had nothing. I said, your original email was absolutely about migrant crime. It clearly came off the back of Trump's talking points about migrant crime. Crime is lower under Joe Biden. I can provide 3 sources. Right here, I provide 3 clean sources for him. And let me just highlight right here, if you look at the top of of my screen, my message says, go read my first response. The last paragraph explains my point. It went over your head. I have a Zoom call ready. And he doesn't respond. I said multiple times throughout this, I have a Zoom call ready. Let's do it. I'm ready at any second. If you want to hop on a call, let's do it. And he went from within 30 minutes, I'm ready any place, anytime, like Trump, to just not even responding when I talk about the call. I even cite back when he talks about migrant crime earlier, and this dude just doesn't understand it. He said, my position is about you constantly attacking Donald Trump, and you won't report what is happening. You're really good at trying to twist a conversation. You won't do it. And here is where I bring it all home. I said, you keep repeating that immigrants are bringing crime. He keeps saying migrant crime, but just think about it. The only way that would be alarming is if immigrants committed crimes at higher rates than US citizens. For example, if immigrants make up 10% of a town and commit 30% of the crime, then that is a problem. They are bringing a disproportionate amount of crime. But if they make up 10% of the town and commit 10% of the crime, there's no reason to single them out because that follows. I say, you haven't provided any evidence that immigrants are committing crimes at disproportionate rates, and without that, your argument just doesn't hold. It's about facts, not fear. You can't use Instagram and Twitter videos as a data set, and that's the lesson that I wanted to bring to you guys with this video. I know that this was a petty, annoying debate where I didn't break through to him, but I know he's going to watch this video, and the broader lesson I want to bring to you guys is that nothing Trump says has a basis in reality, and make sure to call that out. Drop a like, subscribe, have a great rest of your day, and peace out.